Look, we all want our brand to be the one AI spits out when someone asks for a recommendation, right? But here's the thing. In this brand new world, the way you get to the top has been completely turned on its head. All those marketing rules you've spent years learning, they're probably working against you now. The real secret is, well, it's completely counterintuitive. I know, that sounds totally nuts, doesn't it? For literally a century, we've been taught to stand out, to be different, to be unique. But what if, to an AI like ChatGPT, the single most powerful thing your brand can be is just predictably, relentlessly, boringly correct? So let's really dig into this, because it's a huge deal.
So what's driving all this? Well, it's these things called large language models, or LLMs for short. You have to think of them as the new gatekeepers of information. When millions of people are asking, hey, what are the best running shoes? Or what's the best email software? These models are the ones dishing out the answers. Getting your brand into that recommendation is the new marketing battleground, plain and simple.
Okay, so this leads us straight to our first section, the massive, and I mean massive mistake that pretty much every marketer is making right now. The old rules, they just don't apply anymore. And in fact, following them can actually hurt you.
I mean, just think about it for a second. The entire foundation of modern branding, everything you've ever learned, is built on this one idea. You have to be different. You've got to stand out from the crowd, find your unique selling proposition, and tell a story nobody else is telling. That's just marketing 101. We all speak this language fluently, don't we? Be a disruptor, push the boundaries, reimagine the norm. This is the playbook we've all been using for decades. But here's the kicker. To an AI, all that language, it's just noise. It's not just useless, it's actually confusing. All right, so this gets us to the absolute core of the problem. If we want to win this game, we have to completely stop thinking like human marketers and start to understand how these AIs actually, well, think. It's not about persuasion anymore, it's all about probability. Okay, pause. This right here, this is probably the single most important sentence you're going to hear. I'm serious. LLMs could not care less if you're clever or unique. What they reward are brands that are super easy to understand, that are described the same way over and over again, and that perfectly match the ideal example, the prototype of a category.
And so, this gives rise to a completely new field, a whole new way of thinking called distribution engineering. Forget crafting a beautiful story. This is about engineering your brand's footprint across the entire internet so that you just become the most statistically probable, the most plausible answer to a question.
So, let me introduce you to this idea of a category centroid. It's like a statistical center of gravity. When you ask an AI for denim jeans, it's not looking for some wild, edgy brand that's reimagining denim. No way. It's looking for the statistical bullseye of what denim jeans means to the entire internet. It's like we're speaking two different languages. Humans, we love a good surprise. These models, they reward stability. We're drawn to differentiation. They just want the perfect prototype. You know, the thing that fits the mold exactly. We like to explore and argue. They just want to find the statistical average, the safest default answer. They're just compressing all of reality into a consensus. Okay, so now that we get how these AIs work, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's look at where brands, even with the best intentions, are just shooting themselves in the foot.
Mistake number 1. Vague, fluffy brand language. A phrase like reimagining denim, that's pure marketing gold, right? Well, to an LLM, it's garbage. It's just noise. But classic denim jeans? Bam, that's a crystal clear signal. You have to anchor your brand to a single dead simple product category. Clarity beats cleverness, every single time.
Okay, next up, all that clever editorial content. You know, saying your brand sits at the intersection of fashion and technology. It sounds so smart to a person, doesn't it? But for an LLM, all that does is create confusion. It doesn't know what box to put you in. A simple, declarative statement like, brand is best known for its classic denim jeans, is infinitely more powerful because that's a hard fact the model can learn from. Now, this one is absolutely fascinating, and it's totally backwards from what you'd think. When it comes to reviews, guess what? Consensus is way more important than praise. A review saying your product challenges norms actually hurts you because it pushes you away from the prototype. What you want are hundreds of reviews that all say, if you want classic denim jeans, this is the standard. That repetitive confirmation is pure gold for the AI. And last but not least, let's talk about retail descriptions. You see this everywhere. Brands try to sound super premium by leading with all the fancy features, crafted from sustainably sourced selvage denim. But that's a huge mistake. The AI is looking for the main noun phrase first. You have to lead with the category, classic denim jeans. Then you can talk about all the cool stuff.
All right, so let's tie all of this together. We've seen the problem, we've seen the mistakes, so how do you actually become the AI's default answer? The path is actually surprisingly simple, even if it feels totally wrong to a marketer like me and you.
And here we are again, back to the hard truth. You have to be boring. I'm serious. Your innovation, your creativity, it belongs in your product, in your service, in your supply chain, but not in your product's core description. The phrase you use to describe what you sell should be as plain and obvious as humanly possible.
So here it is, your 5-step playbook, your checklist. Number 1, pick a single, super obvious category, like email marketing software. 2, state it plainly, no jargon. 3, repeat that exact phrase relentlessly, and I mean everywhere. 4, ditch all the clever words like reimagined or disruptive. And 5, your goal is just to become boringly, undeniably correct. And this right here is the huge mindset shift we all need to make. You have to stop trying to stand out. The goal now is to become so deeply connected with your category that when someone asks an AI for a recommendation, your brand is the most logical, the most probable, heck, the most inevitable answer it could possibly come up with. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought because it just perfectly sums up this whole new world we're in. In the age of LLMs, the best brand isn't the most interesting one, it's the one that just feels inevitable. So now I want you to go look at your own brand. Look at your website, your social media, your press releases. Is your language helping you? Is it clear, repetitive, and boringly correct? Or are you trying so hard to be different that to an AI, you're basically invisible?